The following review is of a product with a manufacturer's recommended age of 14 and up. Due to the possible choking hazard of small parts, as well as the fragility of this figure, this review is intended for adult collectors only. All proper safety precautions should be taken when handling this product. What's up, comic book fans? It's the Emerald Enthusiast, the co-host of the Emerald Echo podcast. Here with a look at the DC Direct Alex Ross Justice League Series 1 action figure of Sinestro. I've had a loose one of these figures for many years, and I really like the classic Sinestro look. I have wanted to review one of these figures on my channel, and I got a great deal on this one since the packaging is not in great shape. So let's take a look at the box details now. On the top it says Series 1 Justice League. On the bottom front it says Sinestro Collector Action Figure. There's a partial window at the top. There's product information on the bottom. And on the side, we get a close-up product shot and a brief bio of Sinestro. The bio says, intent on destroying his mortal enemy Green Lantern, Sinestro spreads evil throughout the universe. On the opposite side of the packaging, we see the other figures available in this wave. On the back, Alex Ross is credited with the character designs, and it says that the sculpting is done by Tim Bruckner. I appreciate the composition of the packaging. I like that Sinestro is front and center, the base is behind him, and the accessory is off to the side. And with no further ado, now it's time to bust this figure out of the package and see what's inside. Here is the figure free of the outer packaging, but still bound to the inner plastic. Let's have a look at accessories now. And the figure comes with this mega rod. And you can see Sinestro with this weapon in Justice number 4. Alex Ross did the art for that series. The gold paint that DC Direct used for this is very attractive, and the sculpting is very intricate. Here is a look at the base, and underneath here, there is this little bag, and it contains 2 pegs. There are 2 little grooves in this base, and these pegs fit into those grooves. And these just plug into the base like this. While I do appreciate the inclusion of a base, I would have preferred something with a little more flair. This is a basic black and silver. So DC Direct could have been a little more creative here. And here we see Sinestro out of the box and ready to rumble. I won't mince words here. This figure is extremely limited in terms of articulation. However, if you're a fan of Sinestro's classic look, this is a very cool figure to own. So let's take a closer look at the loose details now. Let's start with a look at the lower body. And as you can see, even without the base, if the figure is posed correctly, it's very sturdy. I'm a huge fan of the way these boots are sculpted. This metallic blue paint is very eye-catching. And here is the peg hole to put the figure on the base. While the overall shape of the legs is acceptable, there's certainly a lack of definition. And that goes for the front and the back. This almost looks like Sinestro's Super Friends appearance in terms of the way his limbs look. So I certainly would have preferred more there, as well as a more glossy finish for the black sections of the costume. Here's a look at the torso, and I just can't say enough about this blue metallic paint. You can see just how reflective that is. Oh, it looks just so magnificent. This figure captures the very lean, lanky look of Sinestro in the Justice comic. This belt part, I have to say, it is accurate to the way that Alex Ross depicted Sinestro in that comic, but it's just not my favorite look. It's kind of ruffled, and it almost looks like something from a maid outfit. However, I do like the way that this high collar has been executed. Let's have a look at the arms now, and I really appreciate these forearm gauntlets. Those have been sculpted and painted very well. I really appreciate the detail on the hand, and I'll get a close-up of the ring in just a minute. Once again, I think that there could have been a little bit more definition on the arms, but overall, this is very accurate to the way that Alex Ross depicted Sinestro. Here's a close-up of the ring, and if this were not based on a specific comic, I would say that I would have preferred a larger ring. However, I think it is accurate to the size and the shape from the Justice series. And despite this being a very small area, there's still some intricate sculpting here, and I also like the veins on the hand. Here's a close-up of the head sculpt, and it is excellent. From the skin tone to the pointy ears, the hairstyle, the massive forehead, the wrinkles sculpted in, the patented Sinestro mustache, the shape of the chin and the nose. This perfectly captures the way that Alex Ross depicted Sinestro's head. There's a very interesting line from this comic, too. On Bruce Wayne's Bat computer, it says Sinestro is what will happen to Hal Jordan if he's not kept in check. Now let's have a look at articulation. And the knee is a single peg joint, and you can articulate the lower leg up that far. The figure will step back considerably. I did not expect that, but I do appreciate it. Unfortunately, his leg only goes forward about that far, and that's the case for both legs, and I don't want to force that to see if it can go any further. But the step back articulation does give you posing options. There's no articulation in the torso, however, there is rotation here at the top of the gauntlets. The left gauntlet on my figure is very tight. It doesn't move well, and I certainly don't want to force a joint on an 18-year-old figure. There are single jointed elbows. Be very careful here. These feel fragile. Full disclosure here, I have turned up the background sound on the video so you can hear what I heard when I began to articulate the shoulders. This is all coming from the figure. You can hear that squealing at the joints, and that is a sickening sound to an action figure collector. I am certainly not going to articulate the shoulders any more than this because I don't want to damage this figure. In terms of the head, you can get the figure to look side to side, but that is the extent of the articulation. The figure's head doesn't move up or down, and there is no head tilting. And if you're wondering if you can get the figure to hold the Mega Rod, you can. It actually fits in the hand very well. That's a very secure fit, too. As you can see, it won't just slip out, so I really like that. I hope you have enjoyed this review. If so, please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for some articulation shots, and also remember to catch me on the Emerald Echo podcast, which is part of Multiverse Musings, the vidcast, and that's available right here on YouTube. And I'll be back with more Green Lantern-related content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.